So hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a puzzle journal called Nurimaze Puzzle. So today we'll be solving two puzzles, and both of these puzzles are constructed by Ben. So I really thank the author for giving me an opportunity to cover a video on our channel. And before going to the puzzle, I would highly recommend you to please subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles if you haven't done so. It will really motivate us to cover videos on regular basis. And if at all you have a request for any Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, do let us know in the comment below and we'll surely make a video on it. And now coming back to this puzzle, so it's a really good puzzle type, and we actually got a viewer's request for this puzzle type, and we really thank all the viewers for giving us Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre request. We really appreciate that. And now coming back to this puzzle, let us see what are the rules of this puzzle. You need to draw a path from S to G in such a way that so path is drawn when you unshade a cell. See, so this is one region. When you unshade a region, you have one cell region, two cell regions, and then you have a very big region here. So path is drawn when you unshade a region. So of course all the S and G would have to be unshaded. All the symbols in the grid also will have to be unshaded. So there are some circles and some triangles also in the grid. Right now in this grid we don't have a triangle. Maybe in the next puzzle we will get a triangle as well. So all the symbols S and G, including the symbols, will have to be unshaded, and none of the 2 into 2 box can neither be shaded or unshaded. You cannot have a whole. So for example, if you see here, this 2 into 2 cell is fully unshaded. That is not possible. Even 2 into 2 cells cannot be shaded as well, right? So the path that we draw from S to G cannot form a loop as well. So for example, I cannot have a loop of this kind. So a loop of unshaded cells is never possible in this puzzle genre according to the rules. So a loop is never ever possible, and the path from S to G would have to go through circles, right? So there are some circles and some triangles. So what are the differentiate between circles and triangles in this puzzle is the path that you take from S to G will always have to go through the circles. So for example, when a path goes just from S to G, you see that there is okay, I still have a, let me show you what I mean here. Just imagine I have a path like this, but from S to G this is the shortest path from S to G, and that path doesn't have any circles going through it. Of course you have circles that are that is in the different path that goes from S to G, but in some other way, right? You have to take the circle from S, then it goes to G, right? So the path will always have to go from S to G through the circles. So this is never possible. This is right for this circle. So for example, let me show you. You can have this path, right? For this circle, this is right. The path from S to G is going through circle, so it has to use both the circles. So maybe for example, let me show you. It cannot go this way, it can go this way and then come and go. So this is also right. So the rule says the path will always have to go from S to G, passing through all the circles, and it never passes through any of the triangles. Triangle is part of the path, but it has to be in some other places. For example, the same thing that I have shown, right? So let us assume that these two circles are nothing but triangles, right? Then this is correct. So the path doesn't go through the triangles, but it is part of the path. So this is, if this and this are triangles, then this solution is correct, right? So yeah, I have briefed you everything. I will again just brief you in a simple rule. You have to draw a path in such by unshading some cells in the grid, some regions in the grid in such a way that no 2 into 2 square is wholly shaded or unshaded, and the path that goes from S to G will have to pass through the circles but not through the triangles, and all the symbols in the grid including the S and G will have to be unshaded, right? So let us try and solve this puzzle now. Okay, so the first thing that I saw when I looked into this puzzle was, so just now I looked into this puzzle, the first thing that I saw was this will always have to be shaded, because you can never form a loop. As I already said you, a loop is never possible in Nurimaze puzzle. So this will always have to be shaded. I can say that these are unshaded because of 2 into 2 square. Okay. So let me unshade all of these. Let me unshade the G the circle as well. Okay, so the next thing that I see is this is of course shaded because it cannot be unshaded. You'll have a 2 into 2 square, so this comes this way, and then I have is okay, I didn't see this plus here. If this is unshaded, this plus cannot be unshaded, it will have to be shaded, of course. So these are unshaded now. The next thing that I see is of course again the same thing that we get here. If this is unshaded, you again form a 2 into 2 square, so this is shaded now. What else we have here? Do we get anything in these places here? Okay, one other thing in a circle is a circle will always have two unshaded cells in its orthogonal side. So you have when you have four orthogonal sides of a circle, two of its sides will always be unshaded, because of course the path will always have to go from S to G and it will have to pass through these circles. So which means the circle will always have two unshaded cells in its orthogonal side. So these two are already shaded, so these two will have to be unshaded. That is nice. So this is shaded here. If this is not the path, that's a really good logic. So for this circle, of course the path, there has to be two unshaded cells and the path will have to go from S to G. If this is not shaded, then there has to be two ways to go, right? One is inwards and one is outward, from S to inwards and from going outward. So there has to be two paths coming in and going out. So this would have to be those two paths, right? And you form a loop here. So which means this is unshaded and this is one of the path. So this is unshaded, this is unshaded, I mean to say shaded, shaded and unshaded. So this is one of the path here. Anything else we get here? If this is unshaded, you don't get anything here. Let's see what else we get here. What happens if this is unshaded? This is shaded, unshaded and unshaded, and again do we form a loop? No, we didn't form a loop here. Okay, so that is possible. This is unshaded, this is shaded, unshaded and unshaded. Okay, shaded, shaded and shaded. No, it is possible. So let's go some other place and let's see what else we get here. So there will be a path of unshaded cells here. If this is a shaded, it has to go from the top, and okay, that is possible. Anything else? These are unshaded. So the path, this path will always have to go through this circle as well, right? So yeah, it can go from the bottom and then the top, or it can go from here anyway. Can go anyway. Am I missing anything? If this is one of these, will have to be unshaded. That isn't giving us anything for now. Come on, are we missing something? So we got one path. If this is not the path, it will have to go this way. Possible. If this is the path, No, no. We might be missing something, not sure. Come on. This should be a doable puzzle for us. Oh, come on. I'm sorry, I'm extremely sorry. This is a really easy one. If this is shaded, of course. If this is shaded, of course, okay, I totally forgot. What I said earlier was a circle will always have two orthogonal sides where the path will cross, right? Or where the path will grow. Now, if you see this orthogonal side, it is already blocked, right? So, these two sides will have to be the path, and this is shaded, unshaded, and shaded. I'm extremely sorry. So, this is the path here. There was a really easy one that we didn't look for, we mislooked it, of course. So this is the path, so this path will have to go somewhere here, it has to come down, because this circle will have to go through G and S using this path only, right? This is shaded, shaded, unshaded, unshaded, shaded, and this cannot be unshaded because you form a loop here. Of course, this is shaded here, okay, this is shaded, unshaded, unshaded here. So the path has to come down this way. Of course, this is shaded because you form a loop here, right? You form a loop here. This is also shaded because you form a 2 into 2 unshaded cells. These all are unshaded here. Okay. So if you see this circle, the path has to go this way, right? So you got a path from S to G this way, and it comes down, shaded, shaded, unshaded here. And if you see here, you have some unshaded cells that has to go and connect to the path this way. So this is shaded here because you cannot form a loop here, and all of these are unshaded. And then you have shaded here, and then with that we complete this puzzle. Amazing. I seriously forgot this, I didn't actually look for it. So circle will always have two orthogonal sides that are used for the path, and this orthogonal side was of course blocked out already, so these two would have to be the orthogonal sides. Of course, that was an easy one, a good puzzle actually. Let's go in the second puzzle now. So here we have rectangles, and I mean to say triangles as well, of course. So the one thing that I was when I got the permission from the author, I got one fact about this puzzle was this puzzle is almost symmetric. If you see here, every square or rectangle, the regions here in this puzzle is symmetric. Every symbol that is placed here is also symmetric except for these two triangles. Amazing, right? Creating such a symmetric puzzle in Nurimaze is highly difficult. I would say highly. I'm not saying it for fun, but it is really difficult. So I really appreciate the effort that author has put into these puzzles, and really the first puzzle that I solved is really a good one. Let's see if you are able to crack the second one, right? Okay, so we got these two as unshaded, shaded here. Just keep in mind one thing about this puzzle is triangles, the path will never cross through triangles. It will never cross through triangles, it will never go through triangles, but a path will always go through circles, and the path will always be from S to G. So let's see if we are able to do that. Okay, So this is, of course, this region is highly I would say breaking region, because this region cannot be path for the circle, because if this region is the path, it will always have to go through the triangles, either top or bottom, right? So you have these three. Now let's see. Same way I can see for this circle, this cell is also not path for the circle. So it is either these three cells. Okay, this is not the path here. These are shaded because you cannot form 2 into 2 unshaded here. So of course, if I have these two, okay, I already know that this region is not path for the circle, that not the path that goes through this circle. Now let us assume you have these two cells as the path. What happens here is it will have to go through the triangle. Not possible, right? The path will never go through the triangle. So which means this will always be the path for the circle. One of the path is this. So I shade this, shade this, shade this. It's a really difficult one, of course. So one more thing here is, two circles from two different paths will never come and meet at G, or the end point. This G is the end point, S is the start point. So when you already have a circle that is meeting the G, when you have the path that is touching the G, all the other paths that meets the circle will always be blocked out, right? So now we know that for this circle, this is not the path. So these two are the path. Amazing logic, guys. A really amazing logic. So if this is the path, it will not go this way, because it will never. So there are two ways to disambiguate this, or the two ways to proceed here. Very amazing logic here. The one way is easy, you cannot form a loop, so this will have to be shaded. Or the other way is, when the path goes from circle, it will never go through the triangle, so it will have to go through this. So this is shaded, unshaded here, and this is the path here. This will never form a loop, so this is shaded. Okay, and of course G and circle cannot meet, because you already have one circle that is meeting the G here. You cannot have this as unshaded, because then you form a loop here again. This is shaded, this is unshaded, shaded and unshaded here. Of course, G will never meet this circle again, not possible. So we have closed that here. Now you have a path that is going through this circle this way. Does it meet this circle or goes away? Okay, I'm not sure of it. I'm missing something here. There has to be something that you are missing. Okay, I see that you have a path here. Towards the top right of the grid, you have a path, which means that path has to continue towards the left part of the grid, right? Can this circle have both the path towards the left of the grid? Let us assume you have a block here, or somewhere you have a block here. Can this circle have both the paths towards the left, the inwards and the outward paths? Not possible, because you will have a 2 into 2 group of shaded cells or unshaded cells. So which means this circle will have one path towards one opening towards the left and one opening towards the right, and the opening towards the right will have to meet this circle, right? Which means this circle. Hi friends, So my video got stuck in between and I'm just continuing the puzzle from where we left, and I'll be merging those two videos. So sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah, so what I was saying is, so as we already saw that this circle will have a path towards the left and then one path towards the right, and this circle will have a path here, right? So this circle will never have a path towards the right, because then you'll have three paths in the top left, top right corner, and of course you cannot have odd number of odd parity, odd number of paths at one place, because they won't meet properly, because already G is already done here. So which means this circle will have a path both towards the left. So one path is this and the other path will go using this circle. So this would have to be the path for the circles here. So these two are shaded, this is unshaded here, and then this also would have to be shaded because the path cannot meet. So this is the meeting point, and the path will have to go through the circle but not through the triangle. Okay, and this cannot be unshaded. Okay, this is unshaded here. So this meets the G here, and then so we have a G here, we have the path that goes through the circles. Anything else we got here? For this circle, these two cells cannot be the path, so this would have to be the path. I can see the same for this circle as well. Okay, come on, now we have, of course for this circle this cell cannot be the path. If this cell is the path, then you form a loop here. Okay, so it will, if this is, then this would have to be the path, and then you have a problem going on here. The path goes through two different circles. Of course not possible, this is quite complex here. What I mean here is, this circle, the path that is going through this circle cannot go down because you form a loop, cannot go through this cell because it is going, okay, of course it cannot go through this cell. You can actually directly say that, because it meets the S using the shortest distance through a triangle. Not possible. So which means this would have to be the path. So this is shaded, this is shaded. The circles that meet here, it cannot go through the S. This is shaded, come down, shaded here, shaded here. So we already have met the S here. So this is shaded, this is shaded, it has to come down. It cannot meet this circle, then okay, no, you have to form the, you have to connect this path and this path, right? You cannot connect through this cell, because then both the circles are meeting at a simultaneously, so not possible. This will have to go this way, and of course, amazing. That was a really amazing puzzle. Due to glitch in the USB and the screen, I had to again continue the video, but yeah, it was a really good one. So if you see here, the path goes from S, goes through all the circles but not the triangles in the path, and then meets the G. So if you see the triangles here, they are away from the path that goes from S to G, but they are still part of the path, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understood how the puzzle actually works. Both these Nurimaze puzzles were really amazing. I really enjoyed the video. Do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.